Go to line 6. Line 6, you're live on Talksport. Good morning.
Hello, line 6?
Hello there. No, that's you.
Yeah.
Hiya.
Oh, right. You do actually tell us what line we're on when you answer then, yeah? It's just that last time I did phone up about 25 minutes ago and I didn't hear anyone say line 4 at the start, and when he said come on, I didn't know he was talking to me. Are you with me?
Well...
You lot seem to be finding it very difficult to communicate with people tonight. I mean, I'm getting wound up sitting here listening to this. I don't want to have a go at Tommy. He's only doing his job, but I think he's being rather rude to the couple that he's talking to at the moment.
Well, he's not talking... He's talking to you at the moment.
Oh, you're talking to me at the moment? Yeah, well, see, what it is, right, Tommy?
No, you've been listening to this show long enough to realise that you don't...
I haven't, mate. I've been listening to it for an hour and a quarter, right?
Yeah, well, you would realise then... It doesn't take an hour and a quarter to realise that you don't get to talk on this show to some researcher or phone operator
no, I didn't know that,
before you go to air.
I've only listened... I've only been listening to your show for about an hour and a quarter.
Well, with the greatest of respect, it wouldn't take that long to pick that up.
Yeah.
I mean, I've said it about 15 times.
You just you get off on being rude to people.
Well, what do you think it means?
You're getting paid for that. You're in a good position, aren't you, mate?
Yeah.
But we ain't all in the same position as you.
Who's we? You and the budgie?
The public. The public.
Well, you can't speak on behalf of the public any more than I can. You're you. You can speak on your behalf, and that's the end of it.
Why have you got a program called Talk Radio then?
I haven't got a program called Talk Radio.
A station called Talk Radio.
I haven't got a station called Talk Radio.
You work on a station called Talk Radio.
I don't work on a station called Talk Radio.
Well, who am I talking to then?
You're talking to whoever you're talking to, but none of the things that you suppose about anything are accurate.
You're going to go see a shrink, mate. I tell you what.
I am a shrink.
Okay, so go and sort Liam Gallagher out then. Because I went and saw Oasis last night, and that bloke needs help. I mean, I'm a fan of their music.
And you don't need help? Who doesn't need help?
Possibly. Everybody needs help, but there's not enough bloody help to go around, is there?
Well, you know, I'm here. I'm listening. What is your problem? Is it anger? Is it anger? Is it lack of fulfillment?
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, things are up and down, aren't
they? Lack of affection in your life?
Eh?
Is it lack of affection in your life?
Oh, I get all my affection from my child.
Yeah, but
that's all I need. That's all I'm bothered about, mate.
Well, you say that's all you need. Everybody thinks
we all go to work for a living, and we have our fun on what we can afford.
Yes, but is your life working out?
You know, when you were saying earlier tonight, mate, you said...
That's not much of an answer to a very good question.
Yeah, but you don't answer every question that we ask,
I certainly do.
Yeah? I think you skirt over issues, mate, the people that want to talk about.
Questionably not. I confront absolutely everything in my life and anything that anybody wants to talk about. I'll give you an honest answer to any question you want.
So if you're a shrink, Tommy...
As long as it's a decent question.
Well, I'm trying to be. People trying to ask you decent questions. Listen, that couple earlier were genuinely frightened for their child on Saturday night.
Well, that's your judgment on it, and it wasn't mine.
Okay, but I mean, like... How can you make that kind of judgment?
It's my job, and that's the reason I'm here doing this.
So you've got my head all worked out then, haven't you?
I didn't say that.
But you're giving that opinion.
I had a higher set of concerns for the welfare of that child whilst I was listening to the...
Of course, yeah, because that's the main issue.
I haven't finished talking. Don't interrupt me.
Ooh.
Okay. You got it. Because I'm making an important point here, and it's one that you should think about.
Okay.
I found myself... I did not choose, I found myself with a different set of concerns for the child in question whilst I was listening to the behaviour of the parents than the set of concerns that the parents were trying to persuade us they had.
Okay, so why does that make them so...
Did you not?
Yeah, I know what you're getting at. You said to them... What are you doing up at 1:15 in the morning ringing this show when you've got a day ahead of you tomorrow? I've got a day ahead of me. When I was listening to them,
because I am able to hear better than you...
Yeah, well, I'm not born of parents that are deaf, mate, you know, mate, but I'm lucky I can hear anything.
I'm sorry, this is all irrelevant. Why don't you concentrate on the point I'm making? Because you've challenged me about what I had to think about those parents, and I'm trying to explain to you why... I thought the things I thought about those parents, okay? And if you're interested in finding that out, then I'll tell you. If you're not interested, because it was a casual allegation which it turns out doesn't stick, then we can move on to something else.
It's your programme.
But it's your call.
It's my call, but I mean, You're trying to direct the call, aren't you, really? You know...
Your call began hostile. I don't start these arguments ever.
Did you have a nice weekend, mate? Did you have a nice weekend? I had a nice weekend, and I'm still having a nice weekend. And tomorrow I'll have a nice day at work.
Then why did you start...
That's all that bloody matters to me.
Then why did you phone this radio station to be hostile?
Horrible to everyone, mate. You're the one who's being hostile.
No, you started being hostile.
Because you've got to fight fire with fire, haven't you? You know what I mean? You like an argument, and I'm having an argument with you. You said earlier.
Not a very good one, if you don't mind me saying so, because it doesn't have any
Because
point
you're
to
not bloody winning it, that's why. Listen, I've got a sane mind a little bit. There's a lot of people out there that we all know haven't. And it is bloody scary, mate.
I've never met anybody who didn't think they were sane. You've got no reason whatsoever. You've got no reason whatsoever to believe you're sane.
Everyone's got a reason to think they're a little bit mad sometimes, because it is a mad world. Because we are getting fed crap in the papers that we feel that we've got to buy, because we need to know what's going on in the world. But we want some bloody proper news. Like you said, they go on about it all for too long. That's right, because it sells. People, they get on an emotional crutch with people. Like when Lady Diana died, everyone felt a need to outpour their emotions, and it was a way of outpouring their emotions. Don't matter how you do it, you have to do it now and again, mate.
08700 40 50 60 is the telephone number. That is, though, what a lonely bunch of people walkers are. Because
ramblers, do you mean?
Well, no, it's just that whatever you see, if you read the men ones, because I sometimes do, to see what sort of men there are out there who think that they're going to get a good, night in the sack as a result of spending 15 quid on a Lonely Hearts advert.
Yeah.
And nearly all of them include, nearly all the men who place an advert in Lonely Hearts say that amongst their hobbies is walking.
Oh.
And you check it out,
Walk. That means I don't really do much.
Hobbies: walking, wine, and...
walking.
Theatre. That's it. They say walking. Hobbies include walking, wine, and theatre.
Yeah.
53.
Walking...
Gentlemen, scientific explanation is the Tower of Babel, as you know. You know that story?
No.
The people of Babel...
Right.
decided to try and build a tower high enough to reach heaven.
Yeah.
So, they did, but God got cross with them, knocked it all down and cursed them by making all the people of Babel speak different languages. And they all had to go away because none of them could communicate with each other. So one man fell down off the Tower of Babel, and when he hit the deck, he was fluent in Portuguese.
The thing is, that's perhaps in the Bible and whatever, but it's not actually true, is it?
Oh, I don't know about that. You try telling a Seventh-day Adventist that the Bible is not exactly scientific and a handbook of fact.
I'm just watching one of the shopping channels on cable, and they're trying to flog me
Try too hard. Line 3, you're live on Talksport.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, hello to you. My name's Brian.
Hi, Brian.
All the conversations going on, and I don't really follow your programme at all. But the conclusion I've drawn, which is based upon the experience I've just had, is that you do really have a bad showing, don't you? Everybody that phones you, in the main, doesn't like you. Now, you're aware of that.
Yes, obviously.
And all you're doing is really aggravating people.
Yeah.
So I'm going to suggest that you resign from your job and put Ash on. He seems to be a bit more intelligent than you.
No, I don't think he'd say that. No.
Well, no, I'm not worried about what he says. I'm just suggesting that you resign.
No, I'm not going to do that, no.
Why not?
Well,
Don't you think you should do everybody a favour? All the callers following on from my call and all the previous callers will be delighted to see you resign.
Yes, I'm sure they would, but I won't.
That's right. Well, now, do us a favour.
Yeah.
All right? And that's the end of my conversation. I don't really want to talk to you much more. It's just that I think you just wind everybody up.
That's right.
And I think you just
and you
especially. Career,
and
you won't talk me down, sunshine. I'm talking you down. Okay?
You're gone.
Good night to you, my friend. Good night.
Go on. Go on. He's gone.
Very predictable.
He's lost. Fantastic. Let's try line 4. Line 4, you're live on Talksport. No, he's hopped off.
And who do you think, who else, Venus against Rikishi?
Well, Rikishi Fatu is an ex-favourite of mine, but I've gone off him a bit because he's a bit of a, he's a bit of a sort of a one-hit wonder, isn't he?
Well, I think you win. I think you will win.
Okay.
Hey, Tommy.
Yeah?
Can I pleasure your wife?
By all means. By all means. I wouldn't. There's
Well, he might not be able to. He might not be of the standard to be able to.
It's not a particularly high-stakes game.
Isn't it?
No. 08700 40 50 60. One of my hobbies is the fact that I've become completely unsurprisable and unshockable, and you should try it sometime. I can remember when things used to shock me and upset me, and it was pathetic. Pathetic, a bit like those old ladies who are always on the listen out for somebody saying a swear word on the bus.
Yeah.
They want to be shocked and offended, and they go, oh. There's just no way to live your life.
They puff their cheeks and move backwards, don't they?
They love it. They love it.
They love it.
Really. 08700 40 50 60. Line 1, you're live on Talksport.
Yeah, I was just wondering how you and Mike Dicking were getting along. Are you still an item?
Are we still an item?
Yes. Well, are you still engaged to Mike or not?
This is very poor, isn't it? Really? It's not funny, really.
Well,
I mean, it's not.
I was just wondering. Were you a bit jealous when you found out about James H. Reeve? Because he suffered the same thing as you, didn't he? He got caught in the toilets, giving him one.
This is neither interesting nor amusing.
He's still giving Mike Dickin one.
I mean, you're probably like this with your friends, and it's why they go, oh God, here he comes when you walk into the pub.
Well, answer the question: are you still with him or not?
No, I'm making the conversation more interesting by trying to show you that if your social skills are as good as you're demonstrating at the moment, it's why things aren't working out for you as you would like. Because this is poor, my friend.
It's not meant to.
It's not funny. It's not shocking.
Meant to be funny.
It's not whatever you hope it is.
It's not meant to be funny.
What is it meant to be?
Question.
Yeah, what is it meant to
I'm
be?
asking you a question. Answer the question.
What is it meant to be? Shocking?
And no.
Is it meant to be hurtful?
Well, is it? Well,
what's it meant to be?
There's internet rumours. These are the internet rumours.
Yes, but what's the purpose of you wanting to try and do something? What is it you're trying to do, and for what?
I want to know what's happening.
Why?
I'm interested.
But you know that this is poor. This is just very, very weak.
Not poor like your radio show.
My radio show is extremely sophisticated.
It's rubbish.
It's too clever for you.
It's absolutely rubbish.
And I'm too good for you.
That pilot got better of you. He's got your number.
In your dreams.
Yeah.
He phones me. He's hooked on me. He's stuck on me. I've got him exactly where I want him.
He was too intelligent for you and you couldn't handle him.
How does he deal with the fact that he can't stop listening to the show just as I told him that he wouldn't be able to? How does he deal with that? He hates it.
No, he said he likes listening to his own name being mentioned. That's why he listens to it, not just for you.
I told him that he would be hooked on the show, and he is. How do you think that feels?
You'd actually find out that people actually listen to this because of the calls, not because of you.
Do you really believe that?
Yeah, I do.
You don't. You're a liar, well as weak.
You're a liar. You always say you haven't
I've
lied
never
since
lied.
1972, but it's garbage. You lie all the time.
1973, actually.
You're
But at least it shows something, doesn't it? That you listen to me more carefully than I listen to you. Now, why is that? I'll tell you why it is. It's because I'm worth listening to. Because I have depth, I have wisdom, I have genius, I have charm. You dream of being me, and you know that you never will. Not in this lifetime, or your next lifetime, or the lifetime after that. But if you live as long as me, as many times as me, there is a chance that one day you might emerge from that cocoon that you live in now. A butterfly, like me.
You don't like it, do you, Tommy? You don't like it.
Like what?
You don't like it, the fact that the pilot got better of you. You see, you're trying to change the subject again. I want that pilot to ring up again tonight.
I want the pilot to ring up again tonight. You know why? Because every time he rings up, he knows I've won.
He kicks your ass in conversation, that's what he does.
Well,
he's too intelligent for you.
Yeah, that's right.
far too intelligent. Anyway, Tommy.
Yes.
Can I pleasure your wife?
I doubt it very much indeed, because I don't think you're able to do anything. He's gone. He's away. I'd rather have a decent argument, though. If you fancy a decent argument, please give me a call. Really.
He was a master in the art of buffoonery, that guy. He really was.
Well, I feel sorry for people who try too hard. Whatever it is they try to do. One of the great secrets in life is Zen.
Yeah, he was very bitter about it.
Yeah.
There's no
But he tried, oh God, he was really, really endeavouring. Really, really, really. Now, it's sad enough when someone is trying very hard to be popular or trying very hard to be funny. It's slightly disturbing when somebody is trying very hard to be unpleasant. Consciously trying to be unpleasant to somebody else. That is worrying. You know, these people have a mother. What must they think if they were to find out that their children were spending part of their lives trying to be unpleasant to something or somebody? These are the people who pull the legs off spiders. These are the people who throw cats out of skyscrapers. You know, I mean, that is disturbing. But always still very sad when anybody is trying too hard, whatever it is they're trying to do. You know, take Ash as your role model in this. Take Ash as your mentor in this.
Unless it's for Britain.
Yes. Line 3, you're live on Talksport. Good morning.
Hello?
Hi.
I would just like to talk to Tommy.
Yeah, you're on the air. I am Tommy. Hi. Thanks for calling.
Hello?
Hello there. You're on the air. I'm Tommy.
Well, see, Tommy, I'm the Antichrist and the world won't take me seriously.
No. Have you told your GP?
Well, they sectioned me.
Well, how are you getting this call out?
No, I'm out now, but... See, I was Jesus in my previous life, but this time round I'm the Antichrist.
You know, you raise an interesting point. If there is anything in reincarnation, it means that somebody came back who was Jesus. You raise a very interesting point. It's something that the Hindus will have to think about, won't they? Eh? Am I right?
Yeah.
I'm a bit too good for you, aren't I? Never mind.
Yeah.
But thanks for your call. 08700 40 50 60. Now, that's an interesting point, isn't it? That means that somebody else came back who was Muhammad. And who was, what's his name? Siddhartha Buddha, you know? Yeah, that's a thought, isn't it? Let's go to line 4. Line 4, you're live on Talksport. Good morning. Hello, line 4. Okay, line 5. Hi, line 5.
Is that Tommy?
Speaking.
Hi, it's Mike here.
Hey, Mike.
I just wonder, with your knowledge and everything and all the things that you've done, whether you consider going on the lecture tour.
Yes, I've thought about it, but I can't be bothered, really. People don't listen.
Well, I can understand that, because your show is crap.
Oh dear. Fantastic. If only, you know, I feel for people like that, because they really hope it hurts, and it must, I don't know what it must do to them to know that it doesn't. It doesn't because it wasn't good enough, and it doesn't because they don't matter. That's what really makes them so arch. The knowledge that their rudeness doesn't, you know, is not even an insect nip. That must be very annoying. My advice is, don't try, because that way you won't risk the hurt of knowing that you don't matter. Simple as that. Line 6. Then what is there you have to learn, and what is there you have to be able to do?
You were saying this when I was listening earlier on, before I spent half an hour trying to get through, you know?
Well, it's only when people fake it. It's only when people think they've got to put on a performance. Look, I mean, how old are you now? What age would you be?
Guess.
It's not a game thing. Just tell me.
I'm in my 60s.
Yeah. Well, you spent then nearly 60 years now
Mm-hmm.
turning yourself into the person that you are.
Mm-hmm.
And you continue to work on it, to improve.
I've been many, many people over the years. I used to be a stand-up comedian on the club circuit.
Yes, that's not quite the point I was making, really.
No.
No. Do you know what the point? Are you there with the point I'm making?
Yeah, your point is that you become the person you want to be.
Not
You want it
quite.
bad enough.
Not quite. No, that's not my point, actually. No, my point is that you ought to be proud of what you've achieved so far in terms of becoming somebody. I mean mentally.
Well, that's nice.
No, you know what I'm saying. You have an adolescent approach to life in that you're still interested in shiny, glittery objects, like the television career of an Emmerdale extra. And this doesn't give a good message out to younger people listening that somebody of your maturity should still be so concerned about what Boy George has to say about Emmerdale extras, because it's something that you occasionally do. Young people need to be shown that by the time you reach your 60s, which you are, you've moved on. You're a richer, broader, wiser human being, and that you care about things that are more important than Boy George's view about Emmerdale extras. For God's sake, do you realise how pathetic that is?
No, you just struck a nerve, you know.
But it's pathetic, my son, of you, isn't
I don't
it?
think so.
Well, I'm telling you it is. Now, grow up.
Everyone's entitled to their opinion.
No, they're not. We've been through this on this show many, many times. Everyone is not entitled to their opinion.
So you're not entitled to your opinion?
I am entitled to my opinion
No,
provided...
you just hang on. You just said no one's entitled to their
I hadn't
opinion.
finished the sentence, had I? What makes you think you're entitled to your opinion?
No, you just said no one's entitled to their opinion, so
I
why
didn't
are you
say that.
forcing yours on me?
I said that I am entitled to my opinion when and provided I've
Are
given
you
it...
changing it now?
No, I'm consistent with what I've said on this show and what I've said throughout my life.
Did you go to college?
What's that got to do with what I'm talking
Did you
about
ever
at the
go to a-
moment?
Did
Do you have the ability to concentrate on any one thing for longer than 30 seconds?
Did you ever debate anything in college?
Do you have the ability to concentrate on any one thing to the point where you learn something from it? Or,
No, I'm afraid
as
so,
soon
yeah.
as it turns into hard work, do you like to change the subject? Yes.
No, my opinion has gone down a bit on you now because you just ducked the question, don't you?
Which question was that I was ducking? Was it the one that you
last-
interrupted
last
me
three,
before I got a chance to answer?
Those three I threw at you.
No, son, you mustn't... if you ask somebody a question
Mm.
and they begin to answer it, then when
Which
you
you
interrupt...
didn't.
But no, because you interrupted
talked around
me.
it and
No, you
away from
interrupted me, Petal.
No.
Well, let's try it again then. Ask me any question and then shut it whilst I answer it. Go on then.
Why are you such a self-opinionated person? I didn't think you were before I found you up. There you go.
No, that's a question that can't be answered.
Now I'm not asking you a question, I'm just giving you my opinion of you. I'm rather disappointed. I've listened to you now for the last 2 or 3 weeks.
Well, I don't mind that you're disappointed. It disappoints me that somebody of your age hasn't reached a maturity whereby you realise that it doesn't matter what Boy George flippantly says about extras on Emmerdale. That doesn't matter.
I just came on your show for the talking points.
It's tragic.
Not
It's
as
lamentable. It's pathetic. It makes me really feel sorry for your whole generation.
Don't feel sorry for me, sunshine.
I do. I feel desperately for you that you haven't come on further than this. If you were a child, I would understand, but I would be guiding you towards greater things.
You're quite amusing when you try, aren't you? Anyway, Tommy, get on with your program. Now, you should have much more interest in people ringing up. I just listened to your program for a few weeks, and I thought you were quite interesting. So I just tried to think of something to get on and talk to you about.
Yeah,
You made such a big point of it. It's made it look ridiculous.
Yeah, well, people like it when I have an argument with people.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, perhaps that's why people's all trying to get on. They want to argue with you. I didn't want to argue with you.
No, I know.
I just
But it was
wanted-
a pretty pathetic point, if you don't mind me saying so again.
In your opinion, yeah.
No, it is.
Which no one's allowed to have an opinion, you said.
No, I haven't said that. Shall I?
did.
No, well, you didn't let me finish. Shall I finish that one? Because I'm quite proud
Go on
of this
then.
piece of
Go on
thinking.
then.
All right, well,
Go on.
what you have to do is listen.
Yeah, go
And
on.
when I finished it, I'll ask you, what happens in a conversation is if I finish a point, then you then get to rejoin.
Okay.
Okay. And it works.
I'll be totally silent and listen.
And in a conversation, what you have to do is show that you've listened to the thing that was said
Mhm.
one means or another, rather than jump in with something that is slightly different, which shows that you weren't actually listening to what was being said, but you were mentally rehearsing the thing you're going to say next. And that's where all communication breaks down. That's why half the trouble in the world can be explained away by the fact that instead of listening to what's being said, too many people are mentally rehearsing the thing they're going to say next.
I'll get to the point then.
And see, you weren't even listening to that, were you?
I was, yeah.
Well, let's see whether you can do it then, shall we?
Get to the point. I will not interrupt you now. Just listen.
What's the hurry?
I'm in no hurry.
What's your hurry? There's no hurry. There's no hurry in this.
You mean you haven't rehearsed what you're going to say yet, then?
I don't rehearse, do I?
Carry on, then.
Okay. You're only entitled to your opinion if you've thought about it in advance, if you've researched the subject, and this is the most important thing, you can be certain as you can be, that by expressing your opinion you're going to do more good than harm. Then you're entitled to your opinion, but not before.
Yeah, but what I rang you about was such a flipping point.
Didn't work. 08700 40 50 60. Let's go to line 2. Hi, line 1. You're live on Talksport.
Bum, 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 bum. Algebra.
It's worth hanging on to see whether this goes anywhere, or whether it fizzles out. Is this going to fizzle out? It is, isn't it? Are you fizzling out?
No?
Yeah, you are, aren't you? You're fizzling out. In a minute, we're going to have a conversation. Next time you're on the phone. Next time you're on the radio, maybe. Let's go to line 2. I would never use this word, but I'm quoting literally from a Tarantino movie. It goes, I got a couple of pipe-smoking niggers on their way over here with blowtorch and pliers, and we're going to get medieval on your ass. Yes, which is it's more contemporary. It's chilling in a more contemporary way than that theme, that little speech that the gentleman did for us from, what movie was that again with Clint Eastwood? Dirty Harry.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I mean, if someone makes that speech at me and they're holding a Magnum, they're doing the wrong thing, because I will quickly have it out their hand.
Yeah.
You know, you've got to shoot quick.
Yeah. No. You're live on Talksport. Good evening.
Hi, Tommy.
Hello there. Who's this?
My name's Alan.
Hello, Alan.
Yeah, I just wanted to know whether you have a fan club.
Several.
I just figure you could do with all the help you can get the way your career's going, mate.
He's been on before, this bloke. He's you can always tell that he's the guy who did the toilet effect.
Very poor, that was.
Very poor.
Stupid, that person.
He's very frustrated.
Would have got less than a golden line tamarind.
But what it is he's very jealous, you see, because he doesn't realise how brilliant what I do is. Although it sounds casual and kind of made up, the team of writers that are involved and the various producers, voice coaches, personal massage, nutrition experts and so forth that I have in order to bring me up to this pitch. We keep in the sidelines so that it all sounds casual and made up. And so it fools chaps like him into thinking, well, I could do that. Therefore, I could be as rich and as influential,
Takes a lot more than what people think.
Yes. Because I think that's the important thing, is that my work is pivotal.
I mean, I know what you're saying.
In societal terms, my work is quite pivotal. And I see myself as being very much a footbridge between the past and the future for a lot of people.
But you can spend hours and not actually have anything physical or something malleable. Then
he was very nearly a top top straight actor. He was in a science fiction movie. It's based on Shakespeare's The Tempest.
Yeah.
And I can't remember what it was called.
Yeah.
There's a good mutant in it at the end, and Robbie the Robot's in it. Oh, damn, what is that film called? But anyway, Leslie Nielsen's in that. I don't know what else he's in, but he's fine. On the radio. Line 6, you're live on Talksport. Hi.
Tommy, the ugliest people in the world are your kids. And I'm porking your wife.
Yeah, that guy has been doing stuff. That's not so funny, actually, fella. Any more calls about my children, even if they're supposed to be slightly funny, and my children can take it, but I just think you don't know that, so I don't like you any longer quite so much. And a few calls like that, and we'll stop doing this, and so you'd lose your fun. So keep it on the funny side. That wasn't okay. Just serious point, but you know what I'm saying. 08700 40 50 60. Let's go to line one. Adrenaline does. Adrenaline's found in the muscles, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a hormone test.
That's why vegetarians say if you eat a steak, you'll be aggressive because it contains adrenaline, because the animal, when it was killed, knew that it was about to be slaughtered and being slaughtered, and so it got this tremendous release of adrenaline, which then marbles into all the muscle tissue, and adrenaline is a viable drug even when the muscle tissue is dead and deceased and cooked.
Yeah, but can you take adrenaline orally?
Yes, you can.
Are you sure? Because you can't with insulin, because it's a protein. And if you eat it, it's broken down in the stomach, so it has to be injected.
That is an extremely good point you've made. I did, because I've always been very interested in adrenaline. It's a wonderful drug.
There are always injections, people who carry those adrenaline things on them.
Yes.
For analgesic shocks.
You know the doctor's back boy is a skunk. This is the pilot who now phones the show on a regular basis.
Oh, does he call a lot now?
Oh, he's been on 3 times now. He's absolutely hooked, and it's great to hear the grit in his gritted teethness, whatever it is about. You know, because he's so cross that he's hooked. He just doesn't get it. He doesn't understand why he's hooked, but he's hooked.
Have you found out what he flies yet?
No, I haven't. No, I haven't. The reason he won't tell us which airline he works for is because it's obviously one of those bucket ones, and he wishes it was BA, and it ain't. Because if it was BA, he'd hint it was BA, you know. And then so I'd rather didn't mention the name on there.
He's one of those.
Because it's extremely embarrassing. Do you know what he said? He said, I won't mention the name of my airline on air because it would be very embarrassing for my colleagues. What a world some people live in.
I was saying I was watching it last night.
Well, if you don't really know an awful lot about it, it would be a good idea to find out a bit more.
Well, sure on that one, Tommy. You are right, but it was just a pity that the lad had to die. You know,
if you don't know why there's that connection between your two views on two entirely separate issues, and you can't get beyond saying that that's a coincidence, what that means is that your powers of analysis of yourself fall short of being able to provide you with an answer.
Yeah.
So how are we to trust your powers of analysis of European economics?
Well, as I say, I don't know. It's just instinct. There's something that's told me for quite some time since Blair got into power, and thank God when they get him out of power.
And I knew you'd refer to the Prime. And also, anybody who thinks that Tony Martin should be released, and that we should also refers to the Prime Minister as Blair.
Well, they take quite a bit of sarcasm.
Now, why is that? But it's a fact. Now, why is that? That's what I want to know. Is it the newspaper you read, or what is it? Is it genetic?
I'm saying no. I don't.
But you need to know. You need to know why there is that link, because I would put it to you that that link exists for everybody else. It's the same thing in everybody else. Now, why should that be? Because that's not part of anybody's manifesto.
No.
It's a psychological thing.
Probably.
But what is it?
No idea, Tommy.
No, but we need to know, and Kevin doesn't know, even though it's him. 08700.
Hello there. It's a very small point, actually. It's just not really. I don't know if it's open for discussion. I find it very strange that we live in a country that you can run up a small debt and default on a payment or a library ticket and have your name registered against a number of databases that pretty much anyone can inquire against, and yet you can abuse children and you remain secret. I find that rather profound. Do you not agree?
Well, we could make lots of comparisons, couldn't we, about this? Now, first of all, I spend as little time thinking about paedophilia as possible, and I recommend that as a general a general practice. I recommend it to you.
I don't spend an awful lot of time. It's just
well, you spend enough time to think that you want to broadcast about it.
I spend enough time.
I'm uncomfortable about that.
You might be. I got up this morning.
I think
it
we're
struck
all.
me as very peculiar.
It shouldn't do. It shouldn't do.
I think.
I would refer you, like our last caller, back to yourself. What brings that to your mind?
It's purely one of. I find it strange that pretty much anyone can get access to databases about your debt.
No, you've said your point. I'm not asking that. I'm asking what brings it to your mind. What is it you look at first thing in the morning? How quickly did you have your thought?
It's very quickly. I'd sit on a train and it's a pretty banal trip and things pop into my head and that was one of them on the way
you need to know why. You see, you're not. Are you in control of your mind?
I'm very in control of it. It's just that
then
it runs
nothing
wild
pops into
occasionally.
your. Well, in that case, you're not in control of it, are you?
No, it's.
Now, does that not strike you as being even more interesting that there is something that dominates your life and yet you can't control it?
I don't think that's the point that I'm trying to make. It's my mind does some things that I can control it. It likes to be busy, and sometimes sitting on trains going into the city doesn't necessarily make it busy. So it makes itself busy and comes up with interesting facts like that.
It's not really an interesting fact. It
depends on your point of view, really. I didn't want to get into this, right? I just thought it was.
Yes, I know, and I just thought I'd test you out a little bit on it. You know. Because, I mean, a lot of there are an awful lot of assumptions in this point that you want to make.
Such as?
Well, the whole thing, really, is a bunch of assumptions. If you default on a library book payment,
I was using that as an outlandish example.
It was an outlandish example, so in other words, it's factually incorrect.
Possibly so.
Well, in that case, I'm not interested in factually incorrect propositions which relate to paedophilia. It's being frivolous, it's being flirtatious
we'll stick
with
to
something which we don't want in our minds. Go away, get facts, stick to the facts.
You don't.
If you think you've got yourself an
you
interesting
don't know that's
point,
not a
then
fact,
maybe
do you? You don't know that anyone's been logged.
No. Nor do you. That's my point. Nor do you. So don't use information that, unless you're certain about it. If you're going to talk about paedophilia, it's too serious a subject.
Fair comment. That's a very fair.
It is a very fair comment, and that applies to anybody who wants to talk about paedophilia. Let's be serious about something that deserves serious consideration and serious discussion, and let's not turn it into some kind of piece of entertainment, shall we? 08700 40 50 60. 100 40 50 60. I'm Tommy. I'm here. Paul's in Blackburn. You're on Talksport, Paul.
Hello, Tommy.
Hey.
Thanks for letting me on your show. I'd like to talk about this new scheme they're planning on paying good neighbours. Have you heard about it?
No.
No?
No.
Oh, well, they're planning on making bad neighbours good neighbours by giving them cash rewards.
Who's they?
Well, the government.
Oh, yeah.
James Whale was mentioning it. Well, if we're going to be giving them more money, then you know what's going to happen, don't you? You know, there's going to be killer chickens running off drain pipes. You know what I'm saying? Chicken and what, baby? Funny that, wasn't it, lad? Yeah.
Fantastic. It really got me going, didn't it?
Oh, yeah. Hey, Tommy. You're nothing compared to James Whale, mate. I just thought to tell you. You're nothing.
Yeah, what, like you're somebody, huh?
No, and I don't claim to be either, like you do.
Well, you're nobody. You're a loser, pal. Yeah, I've got my own show and you haven't. You never will.
And you? Yeah.
You're phoning my show and I ain't phoning yours.
Tommy, is that why everyone listens to your show for the calls and not you, mate? And you know it, but you'll never admit that, will you? No, because even if you knew it was, you wouldn't admit it, would you, Tommy? Come on.
Of course I would. I've never lied in my life.
Yeah.
Unlike
Come
you.
On, Tommy.
All you've ever done on the radio
You
is
know people
lie.
phone up for the calls and not for you, mate.
I don't care why they call. I don't care why they listen. It's not important to me, just like you're not important to me. And you're not important to anybody. You're a loser, pal. That's why you've got no friends, and that's why you've got nobody to talk to at midnight on a Friday night except me.
Well, that's funny.
And isn't that sad? I mean, is that sad or what, eh?
You can't take it.
Is that sad or what?
That's funny.
Is that sad or what, eh? That you can't actually get anybody to talk to except me. And when you talk to me, you're so overawed, all right? You're so... Listen to me. You're so bereft of anything to say that you've got to make stuff up which you hope to God is frightening and funny, and it's neither.
Hey, Tommy.
Now, you got to go now because you're not much cop. You know, you're poor, very poor. Now, if you phone me again, will you be a little bit better? Nah, no chance. But it's useful to know who we're sharing planet Earth with, I always think. And remember, democracy is not all it's cracked up to be, because not everybody deserves to have some control over your future. Like that geezer. He's got the vote. Not in China. They've got a much better system in China. Wise people gradually filter to the top locally and then provincially and then nationally. They haven't got a boss who's been elected by everybody else. Everybody's got their lives cut out, growing enough rice to live on, you know? No, I'm not sure about the democracy at all. The more you find out about who's out there, the less time you've got for democracy.
Don't forget to subscribe and like. Comment too if you wish. Even slap your legs and make a purchase from Ann Summers. But don't do nothing.